This is third generation Skoda Octavia. I realize by the time you're watching this, the facelifted version hit the showrooms. Never mind, I'm interested in the engine. But before we get to the engine, a few words about the car. In 2016, Skoda sold almost 1,130,000 cars worldwide, and more than 436,000 were Octavias. To put it into perspective, second best-selling Skoda was the Rapide with 213,000 units sold. So you see, Octavia is Skoda's most important model, or it was, with Kodiaq coming to the market, but we'll see about that this year. Skoda is painfully practical. Moreover, the Octavia is classified as a compact car, but in some areas it matches or exceeds D-segment cars. It's not as big as Ford Mondeo, but it is larger than the Focus, and it wins where it matters most. Like the 590-liter boot, which is bigger than in the Mondeo, and the Passat. It also has many practical, simply clever solutions like cubbies on the sides, hooks, nets, a Velcro stopper. I'm surprised other car manufacturers do not copy at least some of these features. It's a shame though, the seats don't fold flat. Plenty of legroom, look. Pretty good headroom as well. Now, the wheelbase in a Skoda Octavia is 6 centimeters longer than in a Volkswagen Golf, 3 centimeters longer than in the Ford Focus. However, this car is 20-30 centimeters longer than the competition, so you can see the extra size not only in the boot, but also inside in the back. Now, it's all dark, gray, dull and everything, but you can probably order a PowerPoint down here. There are a couple of pockets in the back seats. There's an optional smartphone or tablet holder for your kids, ISOFIX points down here, and of course a couple of cup holders. Actually not a couple, but 3. There is a third one, smaller one for a kind of Red Bull or something. And you can also open this ski chute here, and you can carry longer items, i.e. skis or whatever, if you go to IKEA and you buy something long, whatever that is. Might not be the most designer interior, but very practical indeed. Very practical. Like in the back, also the cockpit is not the most exciting place to be in, but it's very functional. The instrument cluster is very clear, trip computer is easy to use, the 6.5-inch Amundsen infotainment system is optional, but it gives you basic sat-nav. There are decent cup holders, storage. By the way, there is a place under the seats for a high-visibility vest, which some of my colleagues must have nicked, and an umbrella. Skoda makes their cars always a bit bigger than competitors in the segment, but you don't need to worry about finding your perfect driving position. There is a lot of adjustment. I said at the start I'm interested in this car because of the engine. This Octavia is powered by a 3-cylinder 1-liter TSI petrol engine, 115 horsepower. I know small engines are nothing new in compact cars like a Focus or a Golf, but in a bigger car like this one, well, it's interesting. At least this is my rationale. Skoda claims Octavia 1.0 TSI accelerates from 0 to 100 km per hour in just under 10 seconds. It's a second faster than a 110 horsepower 1.4 TSI with CNG and a second slower than a 1.4 TSI 150 horsepower. In optimum conditions, this car should use about 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers in the city for extra urban and 4.6 combined. Last weekend, the weather was dull and grey like this car's interior. Temperature was above zero, there was no wind, just occasional drizzle. enough to keep people inside shopping malls, so I took the advantage of it and took the Octavia around Warsaw and just outside of Warsaw. I drove according to the speed limit, I followed the Eco Nanny, I let the car coast before junctions, etc, etc. After a second cup of coffee, because I was falling asleep, I managed to get an economy figure of 5.7 liters per 100 kilometers, let's call it combined. I started with 6. I understand my result is just a liter and a bit off manufacturer's claims, but that's almost 25%. And there was really no traffic. On a normal day, 6 liters will be a good result, especially if you'd like to maintain some sort of pace. But okay, if you need a car to drive around town and your budget allows you to buy either a big car or a hybrid, I guess the 1.0 TSI Octavia sounds like a sensible choice. Skoda Octavia is decent enough, comfortable enough, quiet enough, it's got lumbar support adjustment. Brilliant. It's relatively quiet for this size of a car at motorway speeds. Suspension may not be as comfortable as in a Citroën, let's say, but it's good enough to soak up most potholes. Gearbox works well enough. There's a reversing camera, there are parking sensors, but despite this car being over 4.5 meters long, it's still quite easy to maneuver. Skoda pricing is a mystery to me. In Poland, it's positioned to have standard elements, which in other brands are available only in higher trims. This car in Poland costs about 21,000 euro, in Germany about 23 grand. It's still a lot of car for the money. Unless I start playing with the configurator, then I easily reach 40 grand, which leaves me with just a lot of car. Expensive car. And what do you think about Skoda? Let me know in the comment section below. Share, rate, subscribe, watch more of my reviews and join me for a new episode every Friday. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.